All right. So today we're going to be building a chatbot, basically, for Airkraken, and I already have some of it done. This is all I really have, to be honest. It doesn't do anything. It's just a little button, an icon button down there, where people can start to send us feedback based on their experience at or using Airkraken. So yeah, and yesterday I know we've left off working on the queue and everything like that. I got it working, and yeah, it's everything's working a lot better now, so that's good. But today the focus is going to be on our little chat window here, and basically I just want to build something pretty simple that basically prompts a user to say hey, or basically it'll like pop up a little chat bubble and it'll say, hey, I'm glad you're using Airkraken. Feel free to send us feedback by clicking this chat box or something like that. Just so we can constantly get feedback and make sure that people are enjoying it as much as myself. So yeah, that's a general overview of what we're gonna make. So I already have my feedback popover. Might rename it, but that's what we got right now. So what we want to do now that we have this button to send us feedback is we want to make that. Let's start with building the chat bubble first. So it may not be the best way to describe it, actually. It may not be necessarily be a chat bubble, but more just so a form where they can enter, I guess, name, email, and we actually don't even necessarily need a name. We could just be email and then their message or their feedback, just to make it as simple as possible so people don't need to fill out much information in order to give feedback. So let's start with that. And to do that, I want to use the Chakra UI modal, possibly. I think that might be the way to go. Modal. Okay. Let's see what it looks like first. And I know just wanted to mention that I know I was talking about building the Twitter API in the past few streams, but I don't really want to do it right now because I'm still trying to figure out how exactly authentication and everything like that will work with scheduling tweets and all that good stuff. So I'm still reading up on the documentation for the Twitter API and integrating there. But as of right now, we're going to hold off on that, and I'm going to probably do a lot of the boilerplate stuff just in my own time, just because I don't think it'll be very interesting for you all to see me just reading most of the time and just basically doing like all the initial boilerplate stuff. But once we get that all set up and everything, and we kind of have an understanding of how the flow works, then we will start working on that in the stream. Unless you all are interested in that, then just let me know in the comments or chat, and we can do that. Don't mind either way. So this doesn't really show any examples for the Chakra modal. Let's see if we can find it here. Maybe it just wasn't the right section. Modal. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so that's kind of what we want. But I don't necessarily want the background to go dark like that. I know that's what a lot of That's what a lot of modals are like, but this one, we want just like a chat window, right? So we don't necessarily want to have that shadow there. We want the user to still be able to retain focus of their view. So that may not be the way to do it. That may not be it either. No. No, I don't think popover is it either, actually. Yeah. Not tooltip. Okay, so we'll make our own. And to do that, probably going to want to build a card. And we're going to want it as a fixed position, so let's just throw it in right here. I think they have cards. No, they don't. So we can just start with a flex, and we're going to want that to be in a very similar position as this, where this button is. So let's start with like what? So we need a few like shadow, like right? We want a shadow to show that it's like the Z index is higher than the main window. And we can just show, let's just show the base shadow, and we'll do that. And okay, so that's what it shows now. Let's make this a fixed position though, so then it appears right next to our button, but a little bit higher than our button. Okay, so we can't see it. Let's do like 100 pixels. Okay, so we can see it right there. So now we want our background to be what? Probably white, right? To make it look like a card. And we want a rounded, yeah, we just want some rounded corners there just to make it look nice. I can't tell if that worked or not. Let me just set some minimum heights here. I don't know, let's make it 12 and min width 12. Maybe a little bit more. 100. Just want to be able to see it a little bit more. Yeah, we need to add some more shadow there because it doesn't really looks just very one-dimensional. Let's add medium. Okay, that looks pretty good. Makes it look a little bit higher than these cards over here. And we also need to make it rounded. I think we just need maybe a large rounded. But what do we use on the other stuff? Let's check out our other cards, so let's be consistent here. Rounded. Do we not? Oh, we just use we use border radius. Large. So let's just do the same thing, just to be consistent. I don't know if that made a difference or not. But yeah, it's looking good as of right now. Just like a basic kind of chat window there. Maybe we want to add a little bit more height. I don't know about, yeah, probably a little bit more width too, to be honest. That looks pretty good. Maybe make this 400 though. No, that's not good. That looks about right. I'm really just kind of going by intuition here. I don't really know the right answer. 824. That looks good enough. All right. So now that we have our window appearing in the place we want it to be, we need to add our form. All right, so I think form control is it? Never heard it called that before. Let me read just to make sure. Disable blah blah blah. Wait, so this does what? It just provides those contexts. Okay, sure, we can add that. So that's editable. Okay, and then we can have that required stuff. Yeah, I mean, why not? What does it look like with multiple fields, though? Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, so I can probably just grab this. To be honest, yeah, we could just add this and use it. At least this has like boilerplate code for our form. Never heard of form IK. Okay, so I don't think that's a thing. I think we just need to use form. And we have to import all our good stuff here. Import, 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 import. Not sure why we have that. Okay, so what does it use these properties for? Form IK. Like, do we really need that though? I don't think so. So try to see where we don't really need like all this field crap. It's a pretty bad example. Maybe I shouldn't copy it. Probably just taking me more time than it needs to be. So I'm not going to use that. Just going to use basic form example. We don't need initial values. You just grab that from the state. Okay. What I usually do for submitting forms is just have a submit forms handler. Works pretty well. Don't need all that stuff that they had in the documentation. So I guess we'll just call this send feedback. And this will probably pass in an event. And we want to prevent the default, so because we don't want page to reload as we submit the form. And I kind of like this, actually. It's one thing that they added. Because it gives the user the, what would you call that? I guess like the illusion that it is loading when it's really not. And so we're going to need a few state variables here. Okay, so yeah, we don't need all that crap. We'll just pass in our event, and we will call send feedback and pass in the event there. And another thing we want to do is add a button, and this button will just have send feedback. And this color scheme, actually we don't need to define that because I set that in the universal themes, but we want it to be where, I think we just need to call like type, yeah, type submit. And let's check out our app, see what it looks like. Looks good, we'll add padding later. But for now it looks good. So instead of that, let's do email and make that type. Some fun email. Luke Skywalker. No. That's boring. I mean, it's okay. Anything other than Jedis. I feel like a lot of people do that. Spending too much time on this, but it's kind of worth it. Put those little Easter eggs in there. In the meantime, let's just label it email and make the input type email. Email, and placeholder is for all you Star Trek fans out there. Might change that though. So let's now let's update our Y margin here. I think 4 is a good number. Yeah, I mean, that looks plenty good. So we have our email, and then we want a text area with our feedback, which is also required. And let's put our text area, make sure no one's chatting or anything. Want to become famous? Buy followers? No thanks. Okay, so we will call this what should we call it? I don't think we need. Do we need a type? Type of. I've never heard of that actually for text area. I think we just need numbered lines. Yeah. And let's make it, I think around 8 should be good. That's not 8. Please be nice. I heard someone say that that was a good thing to put. So let's put please be nice. And then I hate the resizable stuff. Resize none, I think, is what we need. Yeah. Let's see what I did for the tweet text area. I forgot how to do the number of lines properly because that doesn't look right. Rows. Okay. I think number of lines is the max number of lines, which is not what we want. Okay, so that's not quite what we want. Is that too big? Maybe a little bit. Maybe let's tone it down a little bit to 5. 7. Cool, looks good. Okay, so we have that, and now let's add a little bit of padding around this, and we'll add, so let's wrap this around a box so we can get all that Chakra UI properties that they expose. What just happened? Why is everything freaking out? Oh, I accidentally deleted a curly bracket. It should be good now, right? Box. Oh, it's the wrong area. Wrong row. Okay, so let's add some padding. I don't know, let's go 4. Looks pretty good. I kind of want these to stretch a bit. So let's inspect this and make sure that this, I want this to fill the whole area. Okay, so we have a form here. And this is our box, I believe. So, yeah, we can probably do, I guess flex grow. Yeah. So that looks good. I think we need more padding around that. So maybe 8 potentially. That looks like a little too much. I think 4 might be good actually, now that I'm looking at it again. And let's push. Is there a way to float this button to the end? End. Maybe? Cool. Awesome. So looks a little bare bones. Let's see if we can find an example, like a chat window. Yeah, I guess that's plenty. Let's see if we can find an example, see what we might be missing here. I think we might need, like what this shows, like maybe some sort of header. I think that would be good. Yeah, it looks like all of them have some sort of header. And I think that makes it look good. So yeah, we don't need obviously the chat text area here, but I do think that having a header bar with maybe an X would be something that would make it look a lot better. So let's build that. So we have maybe a flex right here. And let's make the background teal, just to match with our whole jam. Okay. And I wonder if the width, oh wait, so we're not going to be able to get the width we want because we don't have, because we had the padding around there. So let's do flex direction column. Cool. Now that I think about it, we can probably just make this a flex. I don't think we needed to make a box. And we can remove the flex grow. Am I wrong? I think I was wrong. Yeah, I was wrong. But we do have our flex at the top there. But it's overlapping our top, like the rounded corners from our top, so it makes it look kind of bad. Is there a way to maybe add some sort of border radius just around? Yeah, here we go. So like border top radius. And then we can do large. That should do it. Yep. This is why I wanted to learn Chakra, because once you get it, things move pretty quickly. And you don't have to do a lot of the CSS styling and creating a class that you might have to do if you were doing, like, to be honest, Tailwind is, I really liked it at first because it was one of the first ones I found that was kind of inlining a lot of the styles, so you could just easily add the classes that you wanted to whatever component that you were using or whatever HTML tag you were using. So I like that. But now that I'm seeing this makes it a lot better because it keeps a lot of your code very structured and a lot of your components very structured, which I think a lot of devs struggle with. Because, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you will have a really good looking component in one section, like for example a chat box that looks really nice, and then another section you could have like a sidebar that looks kind of different and actually pretty different from like the UI element of the chat box, if that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. Makes sense to me. But yeah, so now we are on our way with this. I think we just need to add the right padding. Looking good. And so let's just give it a label. I guess this can be a heading. And we can say, send us feedback. And I like adding emojis, so. Too big. What do they expose here? Forget what heading exposes. Okay, so we can go as, and then we can make it, let's go, I think H4 might be a good start. Too big still. 6. Did I do something wrong? Didn't resize at all. I need the size. And let's just make it large. Too big still. That looks good. I guess we can make this H5 or something. It doesn't make a difference. Doesn't look like. And then we want a little X mark here. So let's do an icon button. Oops, not an icon button. And we can add an icon to that, which will be, I think, FIX. FIX, yeah. Okay, let's see how that looks. Looks good. Need to change the color scheme to make it transparent. So, I wonder if there's a way we can make this, make these icon buttons a little bit better, like so we don't have the whole like the background and everything that highlights whenever you hover. Because same thing with here, when I add this, I mean, I guess this is better. So I could do something that I did there. But I don't know. So let me edit some of this on our icon first. So let's make the size a little bit bigger. I don't think we need that big, but I think 1 might be good, 1 EM. No, that's too small. So 2 might be the number. Too big, it's 1.5. Okay, and let's go to our engagement card, see what we did for FIX. Is this the wrong section? Oh, it's not an engagement card, it's a queue post. or something like that. Or the text area was what we did. Yeah, that's what it is. So maybe we do something like this, except don't make the color red. And I also want to remove all the padding. So keep that the same. Maybe we actually make this light or something. Let's see what the colors look like that we can use. Maybe we want some sort of gray there. Was it style props? Why do I keep forgetting where all the colors are? Here we go. Let's do gray. I forget how to write it though. Is it just gray 100? 100 like that? Let's see. Nope. Is it gray dot 100? Maybe let's do like 500 so we know. Yeah, okay, so that is it. And I want to remove all this padding. Hopefully I can. Unset? I don't know. Doesn't look like there's a way to do that. What if we did negative padding, like it showed? Like -1. Say like -5 or 4. It's clearly not working. Yeah, I mean, it's not working. Make this 200 though. 300. Make it a little bit noticeable that it's selectable. Okay, that works. And we can do justify between, justify content between. So we have that, and I guess we can align our items to be in the center. I mean, that'll do for now, right? Example at example.com. Hello. So now that that works, let's add a is loading here to our button to make sure that let's make sure that we get a spinner. Is sending feedback. Use state Let's set it to false. And let's set is sending feedback. What did I do? Oh, it's just because of that. And what we want to do here is set is sending feedback. We're going to send it to false. And before we submit, we're going to set it to true. And that should work. Sorry, gotta drop for a second.